Generals, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Comedy of Heroes to the Western Front Armies. We are the Generals Gentlemen. I am the Machine.
And I'm Archon Hawk.
Now today, we're doing something just a little bit different. We are in a 4v4. And this is different because we haven't even done a 3v3, let alone a 4v4 in the past. And there's a couple of reasons why we thought this is a good idea. Firstly is because it gives us a lot more time to talk about the units and the new things and whatnot that's in the new expansions. And secondly, because there was a patch that came out yesterday and it broke all the replays we wanted to cast.
Yeah, which completely and utterly sucks. But casting 4v4 is nice because everyone's just going to be building different units, and so it'll give everyone like kind of a good idea of what units are available and what goes well against what and such like. So it should be a pretty good experience. So as our up the top here, as our we call them Axis, don't we? I mean, like, that's
Axis or Germans?
Proper term, as our Germans, I suppose. So that's going to be...
Oh, man, I didn't even know.
We don't even know. We'll have to click on them, I think.
There's
so
a way to...
Kalinar.
There we go.
Yeah, here we go. So Kalinar, Thavius, they're going to be playing as our Wehrmacht, and Syndicate and Propellerhead as our Oberkommando West.
Yep. So it's been interesting because there's a bit of a debate of, like, do we call them Wehrmacht? Do we call them Osthia? Like, it's officially Wehrmacht. People are still calling them Osthia, but, like, you know, the official in-game descriptions does say Wehrmacht. As for our allies, we have all four Americans. Rear Echelon getting shredded by the Sturm Pioneers, as we, of course, can see. But Riflemen, those are the real combat infantry. They will start to trade quite effectively. As for our US, though, we do have Tropical Ranger, Masked Monkey, Fried Rise, and Darterius as our US. So pretty interesting names.
Yeah, it should be a little bit of fun there. Rear Echelon, they can actually, in some respects, beat Sturm Pioneers. If the Sturm Pioneers like running into the Rear Echelon and cover and you use the volley fire, 20 munitions ability, gets that suppression and the pin as well, which actually works against multiple targets, as I found out yesterday. Or it seemed to. We don't know if that's a bug or not, though. So
probably not.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rear Echelon, they're interesting.
Yeah,
in combat, they're not good. They're just
definitely not.
Honestly, like they're worse than combat engineers for Soviets, and they're already not very good. Neg cover here for Fried Rise as a rifle, not exactly ideal. Really should be in the cover, even just not in the neg cover, but even then, 2v1, Riflemen will win that, no problems at all. Riflemen are better than Volksgrenadiers. At like max range, Volksgrenadiers can generally win, but even then, Grenadier Squad will drop here for Thavius. Not quite paying attention there. This is too much to talk about. There's so much going on here.
There's a hell of a lot. We've got an MG42, so that's going to be coming out now as well. Rifleman Squad
enough
does fall down there. Nade hits, only going to kill the gunner though, so it should be fairly safe. Of course, the map should be nice for MG42s. Finally, we have a Kubelwagen on the field there, and the Sturmfires will force off the Riflemen. Kubelwagens, they have potential in team games, but of course they're very weak. So if they just get rushed by infantry, they'll just get destroyed by small arms.
Yep, to quote Mr. Archon Hawk, the Kubelwagen is an MG on wheels with more bullets.
Yeah.
Basically, no, that's like Meals on Wheels, but with more bullets.
Yeah, Meals on Wheels, but more bullets.
I screwed the quote, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, they have suppression. They have to stay still for a while though, and they get like a little icon, and they're mobile, so they're pretty good, but they're actually, ironically, despite what you may think, they actually are more vulnerable and will die easier than the MG42 squad because you can't retreat, you only drive, and they're very slow.
Yeah.
And then the moment they start to get some AT, whether it be bazookas, AT guns, or their scout car, utility car for Americans, it's very hard to keep the Kubelwagens alive. So they're very powerful early game, but they definitely don't scale well into the mid game.
And there you can actually see the real power of the Kubelwagens, moving them with the Sturm Pioneers, because the Sturm Pioneers can repair, and they repair super fast. So moving them not only gives you huge damage output, because the Sturm Pioneers are generally going to win a lot of engagements, they're extremely powerful. You can also repair the Kubelwagen constantly. So the two units actually combo very, very well together.
Rear Echelon moving in to circle strafe the MG, but we'll actually suppress one of them. Rear Echelon, when they're that close, they're okay. Didn't get pinned, surprisingly, but Grenadiers doing some pretty good damage because of the neg cover on the Rear Echelon. Yeah, so that was okay, but like that's less damage than one Rifleman squad.
Yeah.
They're just not cost effective by any means. Volley fire, how it works is it costs you 20 munitions, and then you target a squad, and then the Rear Echelon, whoa, never mind that, because right now, we've got Masked Monkey doing some pretty good damage here against Propellerhead. We'll get a lot of wipes in the base. He's killed so many Grenadiers. Look how many are on the floor.
Insane.
But Masked Monkey not paying attention to his forward units, obviously microing this front down here. That's the volley fire, but losing a Rifleman and a Rear Echelon would be a pretty big blow here for Masked Monkey.
Yeah, definitely not what you want. Is that the health bar, or is that for the med truck?
Yeah, the health bar.
Is that full or?
That's full.
That's full. Okay, yeah, I thought so because it was a really dark color. I wasn't sure whether it was a lighter red before. I wasn't really sure whether they might have caught it during the setup time. Of course, they'd be a little bit weak those buildings when they are actually setting up. Infantry support gun coming onto field as well as a 221.
Yeah. Now it's like that. When it's building, they'll get shredded by small arms even, let alone explosives. They die quickly. So you got to be careful when you time your deployments because it can backfire and it's pretty expensive if it does. Riflemen have been upgraded with the bar LMGs. It is a fuel unlock at the HQ, with then you can upgrade your squads individually from the weapon racks. For the cost of munitions, will give them a lot more anti-infantry firepower, but not when they're suppressed by the MG34.
So it's going to be a nice little supporting weapon. We'll catch out several of those riflemen and squads. We've got the upgrade has gone down to that Scar. I want to see how effective it actually is against the riflemen. Of course, they don't actually have AT nades until they hit veterancy 1. Yep. So early on, definitely the 222 coming out is fantastic.
Like this, going into the Rangers, riflemen of Tropical Ranger will be bad news. The anti-tank grenade, also the smoke grenades will slow them and blind them if it lands. I think it hit the heavy cover.
Yeah, the 222 was hitting the heavy cover as well. Like everything was hitting on the heavy cover.
Yeah, the AT grenades for Soviets and some of the Oberkommando West units, they actually work a little bit differently to the AT grenades that we're used to from our Soviets and Panzers. So that's a fighting position that the rear echelon can build. That is upgraded with the 50 cal MG for the suppression.
It's a heavy
so
one.
It's basically an MG bunker, but the difference is they don't actually have like metal bunkering. So they do actually die to small arms. Grenade going in. Might even wipe that squad. Yeah, excellent work. Riflemen having some pretty good DPS for the cost. LMG Grenadiers are generally pretty good against Riflemen, but if you can nade, then obviously you're going to trade quite well. This Battle Group Headquarters is a really good defensive position here for Syndicate. Will also heal his allies here. For now, our allies are looking pretty good in the VPs. They have the middle, and the right one has been held for quite some time. So the pressure is on for our Axis to get those back, but we start to see some fuel caches being picked up here.
Yeah, so 100 VPs down, but that's not too much of a big deal at that point. I guess that is the thing in team games. I mean, you can go for various different tech structures, I suppose, with those trucks, because you can just heal from an individual, like, med truck or something like that if you can get your units back to it.
A nice flank here from Propeller Head with the Shrek on his Volksgrenadiers. We'll be able to take down the fighting position very quickly, with the Lieutenant with the bar is shredding through, forces the retreat, may even lose it through the two riflemen just now, gets wiped out, and that's a huge blow, losing that Shrek. Nade doing a bit of damage, but won't quite wipe it. Volksgrenadiers will be able to take it out in one more shot, but it's actually being fired at by the MG, and that will get the suppression.
Which is definitely going to be nice there, and the rifleman squad as well, extremely low. Nades on those Volksgrens, extremely powerful, and they're a really big deal. So yeah, the fighting position is going to fire, and the fighting position will survive this one with the help of course, the Lieutenant. A very, very strong anti-infantry unit.
Yeah, riflemen in a pretty big garrison. The bigger the garrison, the less effective the grenades generally are.
Look how many windows they have. Isn't that just great for them? I mean, you pretty much have 2 squads in there, and they're all going to be firing. It's like
that's literally 10 windows.
It's literally 10 windows.
That's crazy. Generally, it's about 4 windows on each side of the garrison. This is the mortar half-track. That's surprising. That's actually off the map. What? What? It shouldn't be able to go there.
Is that? I don't think that's a thing. That can't be a thing. Apparently it's a thing. That's cool. That's go mortar half track. Look, you follow your dreams. We're not going to stop you. We're not going to confine you into a certain map quarters. You drive wherever the hell you want to, I believe.
Here we see the power of the M15 anti-air half track. Very, very powerful weapon, able to suppress and do some pretty good damage in an area. Infantry support gun is firing. It's basically like a mortar and a howitzer combined. It's kind of cool, but smaller, obviously. Yeah, the anti-air half-track, it's really good. It has like a huge firing arc. See that little firing arc here? That's the arc that it can't fire. Yeah. The rest of it can fire
it's like
on.
a 270 degree, and it's weird though, because that's actually reverse moving. Like, you're reverse moving the M15, so it's like the back of it. The back half actually has the gun on it, so it makes microing it a little bit different to like what you normally do. Infantry support gun will be firing. It's pretty fantastic against those rifleman blocks.
Yeah, especially that close. The closer they are, the less scatter they will have, making them more accurate. Pigrins here in the neg cover will be dropped very quickly, but up that close to the rifleman, they're going to do some excellent damage here.
Shred.
But that's the Lieutenant in the garrison. Very, very powerful indeed. MG42 facing the wrong direction. Probably could have wiped it if it was still facing against the rifleman, but in the garrison, the bars should be able to shred through that scout car.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You may want to retreat from that. Yeah, he has to run through a lot of crap, so he might actually lose that lieutenant.
Yeah, I would definitely say so.
Yeah, that's going to go down. That's unfortunate. I mean, you can rebuild them. Lieutenant's actually pretty expensive, isn't it, in terms of manpower? But of course, it won't be a fuel unlock anymore after the actual lieutenant building is unlocked, whatever it's called. I forget for the moment.
Yeah, this is dangerous here for our rifleman. That close against the Sturm Pioneers, especially because of the forward reinforce. May lose that squad there. Wouldn't be ideal by any means. Gets wiped out indeed. Yeah, retreating through the retreat for the Sturm Pioneers is risky. That's two support guns?
Two support guns, yeah, one from each player.
Wow, and they're actually okay against vehicles. They do have pretty good penetration, which we should see if it hits. Isn't completely accurate, but it is pretty good. Puma is moving in. Puma, excellent tank destroyer. Would be familiar with the Pumas if you've played the mobile defense. Mobile defense.
Yeah, I believe. Machine.
The anti-air half-track so low. Is trying to back away through the river.
Probably get out of there.
Yeah, that infantry support gun would have wiped if it actually landed, but it did miss the mark. Meanwhile, on the left side, a pretty epic fight here. MG42s and the LMG Grenzo just giving them the long-range firepower that the Axis need and keeps wiping squads.
That's like the third lieutenant we've seen go down in this game. It's ridiculous. Volley fire is activated there, so we'll find a bit of suppression there onto the Grenadiers. It can be nice, definitely can win you some engagements, and they've actually got a Shrek now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. It's actually a good idea. Upgrade. That's a bazooka.
Is bazooka, is it? Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Generally, it's worth getting the bazooka upgrade on your rear echelon rather than your rifleman because it means that you don't lose much DPS. Because the rear echelons, they're just not good in combat. When you give them bazooka, you're not really losing much. But with a rifleman, because their damage is actually pretty good, every like M1 Garand rifle that you lose can add up. So they're a bit more squishy. But when you get Vet 2, on the rear echelon, they actually get another squad member.
Yeah.
So it's basically then like the same sort of health as a rifleman squad. So I think that's the better way to play it. Then the problem is that you of course don't have your anti-tank grenades and your smoke grenades on the same squad, but you can always work around that.
You can indeed. So a bit of a camping across the river here. No one really wants to push through. Got to be careful with those units. Got the metro there for the retreat and stuff. So yeah.
I think we've got the map name.
Oh
wow, that anti-air half-track.
Wow. Did it actually check out the Puma? There must have been some sporting stuff there.
Yeah, maybe the bazooka as well. Pretty good. Yeah. That's the Jagdpanzer, a dedicated tank destroyer, sort of similar to the Su-85 anti-air half-track. In a bit of trouble, the Jagdpanzer will take that in one shot, no problems at all. But on the left side, our Axis are finally pushing through. Now they're going to have a good defensive position. This is the ambulance reinforcing and healing on the field.
Does definitely give you that forward position, which can be fantastic. Looks like the Jagdpanzer is going to find that anti-air half-track and going to take it out pretty easily.
Yeah, the crew have disembarked from that one, so they will begin to repair it. But the Jagdpanzer is able to just attack the empty anti-air half-track, or maybe he's going to actually let it be recaptured. He's firing on it for now, but deciding not to, so he may actually try and recapture that. Has the Panzer Fusiliers. They definitely can recapture that one. We'll only take up half of the squad.
Yeah, would definitely be quite nice there. It looks like Fried Rice doesn't really want to give him that opportunity. We'll be moving in to try and take it, but will he make it there in time? Of course he won't.
Yeah.
Rear echelon get absolutely shredded by Panzer Fusiliers.
I think what he was trying to do just there was if he gets inside of it, they'll automatically fire and they'll kill it, and then he won't be able to capture it himself. Yeah, this is a really good spot here for our Axis. Thavius doing some pretty good defense alongside his good old buddy Kalina. Meanwhile, this is a nice defensive position, but he's blobbing very, very hard, and this mortar half-track is starting to wail away, and if he gets some nice shots, he can just start wiping those squads. Also, if you kill the medics, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
If you kill the medics, it'll really slow down the healing rate of the Oberkommando West. Have some bazookas, and that's exactly what we need to see against the Jagdpanzer, because the tank destroyer won't have very good accuracy against the rifleman. Bazookas don't always penetrate the front armor. Jagdpanzer with the sloped frontal armor, it has pretty good deflection, but if it gets flanked, the health isn't fantastic and it will die pretty quickly.
Definitely has some issues there. We don't have the G45s down on those Panzer Fusiliers yet. That definitely does give them a huge damage spike. Definitely at long range. We'll see what does come out there. Major for Tropical Ranger, so he's starting to get a few more tech buildings down, and we'll hopefully be seeing some tanks to deal with that Jagdpanzer pretty soon.
Well, there's some airborne coming in.
That's a pretty deep drop though.
Is indeed. Don't have any AT weapons though, and look at that, the anti-air half-track is starting to suppress the airborne. That's going to suck here for Masked Monkey, because that's a very expensive squad, but very powerful. They also have really good upgrades. They can go into Browning LMGs or Thompsons, either which are very powerful. We do have the Major as the forward reinforced point near the ambulance, a very effective way of staying on the field, especially on quite a large map. Airborne have escaped the suppression, but they're gonna need some sort of AT against the anti-air half-track.
It's definitely a nice combination there. Like for the med track, you can actually, for a fuel unlock, you can change that to your retreat point, and say combining the Major with the ambulance gives you a forward point. And yeah, definitely don't want to lose those airborne. Super expensive. You got to be so careful with them, and they're gonna fall there.
Retreating through the Sturm Pioneers. Yeah, gets that one, no problems at all. Meanwhile, we do have us still getting destroyed by just sheer force of bazookas. That's about 4 or 5 bazookas. Osvin, though, won't die quite as easily. Will have more health than the Stugan, able to damage those infantry targets quite well. We do see our Axis pushing through here on the right-hand side. On the left, this position is not looking too strong right now.
Yeah, definitely not. The ambulance is incredibly weak, can be absolutely shredded, so you've got to have it a little bit further back from these type of engagements. And it looks like the Osman's actually going to go in, but there's a lot of bazookas there.
Yeah, getting actually pretty good damage. Pioneers will fall and will drop a flamer onto the ground. Osvin may even just focus the ambulance and retreat from there, but if bazookas can get in the garrison, look at the damage.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot of bazookas there. I mean, the captain has a couple, and then there's at least one of those rifleman squads, maybe 2 bazookas. I can't actually see how many they have, but it's substantial. And was that a Sherman or the other
That's
side
a Sherman.
there? Yeah, it was a Sherman. Yep.
Has the HE ammo as well, high explosives, so will do some pretty good damage if it actually hits. An excellent suppression from the MG infantry, but it will have to retreat. Shermans, yeah, very, very good against infantry. Their AP ammo isn't quite as effective against tanks. It's pretty average. It's comparable to a P4 with the AP ammo, but the real strength is the HE shells. They're able to do a lot of damage against infantry and buildings as well.
Powerful. Yeah, they absolutely shred the buildings. Definitely, we've got some of these assault engineers. They can move in up. They have the flamer, which is really, really nice. So the garrison clearing is extremely effective on there. They come from, that's the armor company, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's actually a huge blessing. Calling the Fallschirmjäger on top of the HE Sherman and the Rifleman Blob, not the best choice.
Goodbye, Fallschirmjäger.
And we'll lose that squad. Can be deployed on any garrison, but you gotta be careful because not every garrison is worth deploying. That's a Stuka, that's deadly. 20 kills? How did we miss the Stuka getting 20 kills?
I don't know.
What?
The Wong Stuka, man, that thing is powerhouse. I didn't even know where it was firing. It must find like a massive blob or something like that. Yeah, you can see the crater holes that it left.
Wow. But it
powerful.
will survive that one, taking a couple of bazookas. Yeah, the Stukas are deadly. They're very accurate, but you can predict their movements quite easily. That is a Wolverine and a Sherman. Anti-air half-track won't be able to trade very effectively against either of those. Panzer Fusiliers will have the anti-tank grenades. Wolverine is pretty low, and the Jagdpanzer will take it pretty quickly.
Yeah, Jagdpanzer's in the air. You really want to keep that Wolverine a little bit further back and combat well with the Sherman. The Sherman can take more shots than the Wolverine actually can. The Wolverine, pretty fragile, but nice and cheap as well. So the Jagdpanzer's going to be there. He'll be turning around. Doesn't have a turret, though, so it's in trouble. The Wolverine's super fast.
Excellent flank here from Fried Rice. Jagdpanzer going a little bit too deep, unsupportive. The Panzer Fusiliers can get the anti-tank grenade, which will be essential to prevent the flank, but even the Sherman as well. He wants to get some of the circle strafing. This Jagdpanzer just out of position, really should be keeping it back a lot further. No Shreks either onto the Volksgrenadiers. Tank traps! Oh no!
It's going to block him off completely.
Excellent.
The Jagdpanzer gets taken out. Fantastic micro there from Fried Rice, blocking him off with the Sherman and that Wolverine combined. And tank traps, yeah, just an excellent combination.
Yeah, still has the AP ammo though, so the Sherman has to toggle off to the HG before it will do some more damage. Tank traps are available on the rear echelon from the get-go. You don't have to actually unlock those like you do for Soviets. And same with the Oberkommando, they get tank traps and barbed wire from the start. So pretty good, but really it's the power of these infantry support guns that are going to start to level a lot of these blobs because they're pretty close up and the suppression keeps them together. So we're going to need some artillery coming out of our allies. Red smoke, and that's exactly what we're seeing by the looks of it. Not exactly ideal. I hope we do see propeller head not being colorblind. Oh, that's airborne.
Oh, they're just dropping airborne.
Oh, no, there we go. That's right.
Yeah.
But
so maybe a little bit mistimed there.
Yeah, nice dodging, though, from Syndicate and propeller head. Did avoid that one entirely. Didn't lose any squads to the call-in, and the airborne may even fall here.
Yeah, I think they're going to go down again. Another airborne squad just getting absolutely shredded. You have to put them not like, on the front lines, but not in the middle of your opponent's base. That tends to not be a nice place to put them.
Not in front of blocks. Panzer IVs are moving in. Will trade pretty effectively against the Sherman. That's a bulldozer Sherman, so that one will have inbuilt HE shells. Pretty good against infantry, but it can't toggle as it is a call-in for the armored company. These P4s having some excellent damage, but there's so many bazookas, and they may see a similar fate to the Osvid earlier.
Yeah, Sherman's not going to be that great against them, especially not that 2v1. Pulsing Mega are going to get dropped in here. It might be a little bit preemptive, but there's so much suppression there, it's going to be worth it. It was the double Pulsing Mega drop there.
Yep, and the Sherman does fall here. Ambulance very, very slow. Won't be able to escape. Panzer IV's going to clean up what is left. Another Sherman moving in, but really it's the Jackson that we need to see against the P4s. Shermans just aren't that great against P4s, at least not for their cost.
They definitely won't trade that well. Not that cost efficiently, though. Not even the slightest. The Shermans really have better anti-infantry. They have really nice anti-infantry damage with regards to those HE shells, but yeah, their armor damage against armor damage isn't absolutely fantastic. Jacksons are really what we need to see coming out of our allies, especially given that they are all playing the US forces. We don't actually have any Soviets in this game.
Yeah, so what we saw then was actually the airborne assault.
Yeah.
So basically it calls in like a couple of strafing runs. That's why all of the infantry were pinned. And then after everyone gets pinned, then they go with a Fallschirmjäger. This is a huge push coming up from our Germans here. 2 Shermans and a Wolverine alongside the blob of riflemen. The battle group headquarters will get taken out, but will we see some casualties inflicted by our Germans? Not a lot of AT, unfortunately. There is a single Volksgrenadier with a Shrek, and it does take out the M10, but they are quite vulnerable. And there's the flak truck. The Schwerer Panzer headquarters will do some nice suppression and long-range damage. More and more artillery is firing from the side. The pack howitzer pretty good against the blobs of the Volksgrenadiers.
It definitely is. Needs to move in a little bit more, and there's so much suppression here. The captain's going to have to retreat. The lieutenant's going to have to retreat, and actually might go down from that one. The push not quite working out, and I think one of those P4s went down as well on the side.
Yeah, they did indeed. Vet 2 on the Sherman, getting some extra combat abilities there. Will have greater accuracy on its main gun, so that's always nice to have, especially against infantry. That will come more and more into power there. So that's a Panther as well. Panther's even better against Shermans. Jacksons really are required to deal with those. Artillery is constantly firing. Is that a priest? I'm not actually sure. Yeah, that's a priest.
Yeah, there is a priest on the field there, so from infantry.
Yeah, 15 kills already. The priest is, as you would expect from the Company of Heroes 1 priest, a mobile howitzer, essentially. It's a howitzer on wheels. Isn't as powerful as your regular howitzers, but against this sort of blobbing, it is doing so effectively.
Yeah, 19 kills, that's really nice for a priest.
And another one being called in for Darterius, so these priests will continue to be effective as long as our axes blob up on those trucks.
Really indeed, so we'll have to see. I think the Panthers are the real issue here for our allies. They seem to be winning these infantry engagements very, very hard thanks to some really nice artillery, but if they can't really deal with the Panthers, that can be a pretty big issue. I don't think we have any Jacksons out just yet.
No, not yet. And the thing is with Panthers as well is because of their really good frontal armor, the bazookas just don't penetrate them very consistently.
Not at all.
If you get the flanks, you will drop them pretty fast, but against the front, it will take some time to actually take those Panthers down low with just handheld bazookas. They're not as good as Shreks.
Yeah, a little bit close. So, okay, so the ambulance is there. That's killing a really nice reinforced point. Everyone's reinforced point is that right next to each other. You got like the major, like the HQ on one side, and you've got the ambulance major on the other side of this river here in the middle. Yeah, we should work out what the map's called. I'm not exactly sure what it. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But that's also part of the reason why the artillery is so strong is because of the forward reinforced points. If the retreat points were in the base, and it wouldn't happen. That's another artillery strike here. Not sure whose it is, but definitely is going to be for our allies. Fear propaganda will force the retreat from the Sturm officer. There's only a single target stun, not multiple. There we go. How effective will it be? Taking out the Panzer Fusiliers and the Sturm officer. Not actually getting any wipes, so the pack howitzer almost did, though.
It was very, very close. So was that the 240? Millimeter, so that's on cooldown there. I think it was that one. So
target 155 mil, I believe.
Okay, yeah, the smaller one, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot more accurate. The 240 mil is the armored company.
That's the huger one, yeah.
Man, there's a battle of smoke here right now. Actually, I'm not sure whose that is, but again, rear echelon will be the target. Not ideal, and somehow they're surviving that.
secret passive.
Wow.
Rear echelon just don't die to howitzer barrages.
Yeah, this is a really good spot here
Okay.
for Thavius. He's got his MG, Grenadiers, and the Grenadiers with the G43s. So Panther with the AT, the bazookas are actually taking the Panther down. It is taking some time, but doesn't need to definitely heal up that Panther. Oh, a nice Sherman
Want to be
flank
around with
here.
the Jacksons around, but the Sherman is in the back lines here. I'm not sure what it's going to be going for, but hopefully killing those MGs. There's a lot of stuff moving in here. That's 2 Shermans against the Panther. They have the rear armor, and the P4 is moving in for support.
P4 will have some pretty good damage on the side here. Sherman's on the rear armor will penetrate the Panther consistently. Thavius needs to move his Panther. It's just dropping lower and lower. Sherman's not looking too healthy either. Artie's going in onto this huge blob. Nice rear echelon for the repairs, but it won't even matter. And that is the power of the Stuka Strafe. Probably we'll see Fallschirmjäger drop in afterwards as well. Panther 4 rather, will swoop in. One more shot will claim the Sherman. Rear echelon are being shredded by the MGs on the P4. That's the Jackson though. That will be able to annihilate that Panzer IV, even despite the fact to see 2 bazookas as well for the extra support.
Yeah, bazookas are going to do some pretty considerable damage to those P4s. We actually saw both of the Shermans get away, but one of them is extremely low, and that strafe is still going on over the head. At the same time, there's another push in the top-hand side. The Shermans are pushing in. Where's that Jackson? Is it going to move in to try and finish off the Panther?
It's behind the garrison. This Sherman, I believe, got destroyed, getting a last sneaky shot. So the Panther did back away as well as the P4, but the Jackson is going to really come into its power now. Out in the open, their long range and high damage is just so powerful. I would love to see some more AT for Propeller Head here on the side. They've taken an absolute beating. There's just far too many Shermans to deal with on the side here.
Yeah, the Sherman combinations are just a little bit too big, and that's, again, not the color smoke that you want there. The red smoke's moving in.
How much arty is there?
Doesn't even care, so
yeah, that's
so much artillery.
Artillery and the strafing run, so we'll absolutely force them away. But the Fallschirmjäger may even get killed by their own artillery.
Yeah, you got to be careful there. There's a lot of stuff coming in. Bulldozer Sherman as well, just doing some pretty fantastic. And if you're looking at VPs, I think the issue for Axis here, 145 left for them, 403 for the Allies, so they're considerably far ahead.
Yeah, indeed. Tiger has been called in. Tiger's got a little bit of a nerf. They don't quite have as much HP as they did previously. Oh, that's a Stuka. Yeah, that's Stuka. Pretty damn powerful. There it is. 27 kills.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
So fires on a line. So if you predict the movements, you can target the line where it goes. Telemine, excellent work, Kalinar. That will probably claim a P4 at some stage. That road is going to be a very common vehicle route. The VPs are currently held 2-1 by our Axis, but a lot of riflemen on the field, and when they're that vetted, they will trade pretty well against the German infantry.
Yeah, especially with those bar archives, really gives them some nice advantages. Players will back away from this one. There's some packs on the field as well, which is nice. The MG bunkers have been knocking down the VPs, which is, again, pretty fantastic. So, yeah, 2 priests. Is it 3 priests now?
Yep, that's 3 priests.
Yeah, 3 priests on the field for Dartarius.
I would love to see one of these priests be moved into the bottom, though, because there isn't any artillery here for the left. And I think that's really where the artillery needs to be, because there's a pretty static positions coming out of Kalamar, holding these points down. Packs, MG, bunkers. Even the Panzerwerfer, like, that'll die in one shot if it actually lands.
Yeah.
Panzerwerfer is going to be excellent against the rifleman blobs that we do see coming out of several of our US.
Yeah, definitely is a very, very nice pickup. We'll stop this push through more than likely. See how these assault engineers go. I think they can get shredded like really well if they try and move in, like especially through the neck cover. Like the flame is great, but none of you just going to get absolutely destroyed there.
Also,
there's the Panzerwerfer.
Yeah, doing some pretty good damage. I think it actually wiped a rifleman squad.
Yeah, I think it killed the squad and destroyed the garrison.
Yeah, 5. The first volley killed a rifleman squad. Very, very powerful. Grenadiers can faust it though.
One of them actually went down to the pack.
Yeah, deadly. Telemine actually blew up as well. So that Telemine did claim the Sherman alongside the pack. So already paying itself off. Telemines are so strong. Needs to get the minesweepers on their rear echelon. Panther will move in, and with a damage engine on the Sherman, this Panther will have free reign, but there are some bazookas on the captain if they get in the garrison. But what's this? More bazookas on the side.
Bazookas and a half here. Those riflemen are going to be firing. I don't know who's actually going to win this. I think the Panther's going to have to back up. No penetration. That bazooka volley should back away. The Sherman very, very lucky to have survived that.
Yeah, indeed. Maybe taken up by the artillery, but it keeps missing.
It's off to the side.
Even then, it's only the 155 mil, so
probably won't do too much damage against the Shermans.
Yeah. So basically, the bazookas, you can see they're not that consistent because of the thick armor. More and more artillery. This arty is just all over the place, but not the most effective against the Shermans. And there's a fair bit of that. The Shermans are good because they're pretty multi-purpose. They're good against infantry, and if you have enough of them, they're pretty good against tanks. They also have a really cool Vet 1 ability, the radio net. So it means that if there's multiple allied tanks in the same spot, the more radios they have together, which is Vet 1, the more coordinated they are, and they get like faster rate of fire and line of sight. So
they get horde bonus.
Yeah, horde bonus, essentially for 0-hour reference. This is just artillery all over the place. Infantry a little bit too scared to approach. But I think the Jackson needs to come into play here because the Jackson has the long-range sniping ability. Doesn't have much sight range, so it has to get some vision from other units, but it really can 1v1 a Tiger if it keeps out of the range. A very bold move going in this deep, though. Probably not the best choice. One Telemine or one False, and it will die. The Panther, Jackson very,
I think he's looking for the Panzerwerfers and stuff, but it seems... Where's he firing at?
I'm not really sure. Perhaps just infantry.
Yeah.
The Panzerwerfer will get taken out in one shot. He's going in far too deep. We'll have to back away. Straight away, P4 moving in as well. Jackson about one shot away from being taken out. Going back in forward. Not the best control here coming out of Masked Monkey. Abandoned.
Oh dear.
No.
You don't want to give him a Jackson.
You sure as hell do not want to give your opponent a Jackson because then they have the long range power. Masked Monkey may just force fire it down with his own bazooka. That would be an X. No, he retreats. He could have destroyed that Jackson carcass. And this is going to be excellent because now if there's a Jackson coming out of the allies again, which is a Wolverine, then whoever has the most repairs will probably win that one because they just have long range. No elephants or anything either. Elephants have been nerfed quite significantly alongside ISUs and Pack 43s. The range went down from 100 to 70. Pack 43 I think it's 80 range though. But still, they're not quite as ridiculous as they used to be. It really was controlling the meta a little bit too much here. But these 4 Shermans, they definitely can trade pretty effectively with these, I believe. There's just so many of them, and they've fed it up.
It's a pretty huge army there, so the veterans here, they definitely will have a advantage, as well as having that the Jackson in the back lines. It's kind of what you want. You want kind of a Sherman in the front lines and a Jackson in the back lines. Jackson's going to be like your main source of damage because of how weak it is. Really have to have a Sherman in front to tank up a little bit of a... Again, they're not super strong, but they're a lot stronger than the Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Even just infantry squad to take the shells from it. I would love to see that Sherman army move forward. Bundle Grenade will kill his own model.
Yeah, whoops.
Panther on the side doing a bit of damage as well. So the race really is on. Again, there's
a lot of Axis, tanks. I mean, they've got the Panthers, they've got the vetted P4s, they have the Tigers as well. So,
but here we go. This is going to be the huge armor push from our allies here, but hopefully get some support from his buddies. Another Sherman moving in, but against that many tanks, they have to coordinate it because 1v3 for a Sherman, not the numbers they want to be in, but we'll go straight for the base of Propeller Head. Artillery strike as well for some support. Doing some okay damage, but here comes the anti-tank from Syndicate. 2 Shreks on the Volks and a Rakan. Whoever going for the Tigers now. 4v1. Tiger has to be careful. There's just a number and the mass. That's the Thunderbolt rocket strike as well. Very, very powerful. Takes the Tiger down very low. HE shells are being fired. Not the ideal unit there, but even the P4 gets destroyed. That Thunderbolt runs so powerful against the tanks.
Thunderbolt is absolutely awesome and will continue to strafe the same area as well, but now the Shreks are moving into the back lines. One Sherman does get taken out. The Bulldozer has to be careful. It's got his rear armor facing. It's very, very low, and the M10 might actually kill it.
The Wolverine blocked it off. Retreat path not available here. One shot away from dying, and that's a red smoke from an Axis. Gets the Bulldozer is destroyed from a False, I believe, but more artillery firing in as well. The Volks Grenadiers are being destroyed. And here come the bazookas coming out of our Americans. And they can take out the Panther if it starts to fire. But the Volks Grenadiers are actually doing some pretty good damage, and even the Panther MG is that close.
Yeah, it definitely is as well. I think that Thunderbolt might even still be going. I don't know what kind of the radius is, but it does just keep firing on like any tanks in the area. That Panther actually got, I think it was a Panther.
Yeah,
actually
no,
did
Jackson.
actually go down to the Jackson there. So the Jackson finally coming into its own, doing a little bit of damage there, and that was a massive armor engagement.
That was the captured Jackson that got destroyed.
Ah, okay.
Which is really good now because that's going to change up the long-range playstyle, but a pretty good engagement. Didn't really go good for either team. They both lost a lot of their tanks, but at least the VP has been held on for our Axis here. Jackson got to be careful. Very, very weak against the Shreks of our Germans. Not a lot of anti-infantry damage, but can take out the half-track pretty quickly.
Definitely does indeed. So you've got to be careful with that one. Rifleman will be moving in again. Really needs some more support. Those Hegrens, once they start getting veterans here and having the Shreks as well, are going to be a little bit nicer. They do take reduced accuracy now, though, don't they?
Yeah, they got a buff.
They got a little bit of a buff there, which was nice. Good change.
I think it's 15% less received accuracy, so they will be just a little bit stronger. They were dying a bit too easily before Western Front Armies. Really good MG placement. This is locked down. There's barbed wire, tank traps, bunkers. There is no way our Germans are getting through to this VP here. So good defense by Darterius, but the battle wages on for the middle VP and even the left one as well. In these long-range engagements, the Germans are going to win this, especially because of how many bazookas there are that are subtracting from their infantry DPS. Smoke grenade going in will allow them to charge the MG if they so desire.
We'll see if they do decide to move into this one.
Wow.
That's a lot. All the priests. There's so many priests. They just keep moving around, doing incredible amounts of damage. Taking screenshots of that. It's going to be a nice one. Save that. Put that away. So the priests are they're kind of paying off, but they're not really being used aggressively enough. They really have to be firing at the blobs, but this is a big engagement.
Germans are moving in, but look how much AT there is for our Germans. Pack 40, Stug, Panther, Shreks. These Shermans not going to be that effective, but once the priests start shelling away, all three of them are firing here. Probably not the best choice.
Whoa!
Wiping out the Sturm Pioneers, but really this is where the priests need to be firing. This is a blob waiting to be annihilated by the priest howitzers, but still leveling away.
Oh, wow.
The battle group headquarters pretty good as well.
3 priests is pretty good.
We do see Obercommander West trying to push through on the right. Not too effective here. Really should just focus on the middle. We'll be able to cap away the VP perhaps, but a nice bunker as well will give some suppression and eventually pinning to the infantry.
Stopping those riflemen in their tracks here. The priests really need to find that massive infantry bomb over on the left-hand side. They would absolutely demolish it. 3 priests firing at once is absolutely huge, and that's a Stug. Taking a lot of damage. Again, there you see the M10 went a little bit too deep. Did finally kill onto the Stug though.
Yeah, did survive that one indeed, but so did the Stug. P-Shreks are firing. Will take out the M10. Gets destroyed, and so will the Vet to M1AT gun. And so will my Steam chat, but these Vet 3 Shermans, 40 kills, able to wipe with the HE shells if they land. That's some sort of artillery. Not sure where we're going. That's a 240 mil,
yeah, it must be the 240, yeah. They're absolutely massive shells. It's pretty far in the backlines. I think he was going... Was it for the MG bunker? I bet it was.
I think it was for the Stug, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah, it might have been the Stug.
Yeah,
no.
They have really wide scatter.
Yeah.
It's very, very inaccurate, which can pay to its strength that you can't really avoid it easily because it has the ability to just miss entirely, hit something off to the side. Like here, this could be deadly. Yeah, I think it was actually called in about here.
Yeah, it probably was indeed. But, I mean, those 3 priests, if the priests just fired on that infantry rob, I mean, I think they know it's there. So they're off to the side.
They're ready to go now.
They're ready to fire.
Creeping Barrage is available as well with the Vet 1. Fires 3 shots in a line, so it's pretty cool because you can aim it. Jackson very, very low. Shouldn't be that close to the Shreks. Shermans can wipe the blob of the Shreks if they get within range. We do have the Riflemen moving in as well. The Thompsons on the vehicle crew will give us some pretty good damage, but nice defense of our Germans, and these Volksgrens are Vet 5 with the Shrek, so they are absolute monsters. Have the concussion grenades, so they're pretty powerful too. Sherman getting very, very low. Really should try and avoid the AT guns or shell them first with the priests, as that Sherman does get destroyed by the pack.
Yeah, got taken out there, and the Riflemen are not dueling well against these Volks, especially, I think there's some other stuff in the background as well. Riflemen just keep pushing forward, but the MG42 suppression is just a little bit too good. Please, priests.
Where did they fire?
I'm not sure. I don't know where they're going. There's a lot of artillery coming down, though.
Yeah, but not where it needs to be. I think he was going for the base again. That's the M10 and the Shermans as well. Nice flank, but the Panther will reface. The Pack 40 not quite within range. No, just kidding. M10 is destroyed. Shermans are still alive, and that's more important because the M10s are disposable Shermans. You want to hold on to those because they scale up very well. Bunker no longer there, so it can be captured now by our rifles. Doom Pioneers, excellent damage against the Vet 3 rifles because of the neg cover. Panther may even wipe it.
Double that MG. Do some surprisingly substantial damage. Breeze, what are you doing? They're doing a lot of kills. I don't know where they've been firing. Obviously, they've been kind of effective, though. Panthers, yeah, there we go. There's some stuff coming down. But yeah, the Panthers just don't seem to be... the Shermans just don't seem to be penetrating the Panthers' front armor, as you'd expect. You really need the Jacksons for that.
Yeah, indeed. Also the range. That's going to be deadly artillery barrage, though. Hasn't quite moved these units just yet. Not sure whose it is, but it will be dangerous. I think it's that's the Thunderbolt, I think?
No, I don't think that was the Thunderbolt. I'm not sure what that was.
I don't know. Whoa!
Whoa!
But whatever it was,
though.
it's doing some pretty fantastic damage. Really having to back away from that one. Yeah.
Is that the priest?
Oh, that's a priest.
Yeah, I think it must be the priest.
But there was a red smoke. But anyway, look at the damage here as well.
I think that was the walking the line.
Creeping barrage. Perhaps it was. Yeah. Jackson will be excellent at long range. Gets the second Panther. That's 2 Panthers destroyed. Yeah, that's all that they need. The priests for the artillery and the Jackson for the long-range vehicle snipes. That has allowed our Americans to push through on the left flank, get the VP back with only 100 VP left for our Germans. They'll be able to close this game pretty soon, and this blob is just waiting to get priested.
Priested. I think that should definitely be a word.
Yeah, that was Creeping Barrage.
That's a good one. Yeah, so Creeping Barrage, so powerful. Yeah, how it just came down like on the side. Yeah.
Yep. Ooh, Jackson playing a risky game there. Got to be very careful.
Pack shot.
Yeah, that was a pack. So Jackson will get repaired now, hopefully. M1 facing up. Unfortunately, like, this is when snipers would be awesome. If Americans had them. They do get Pathfinders, which are kind of like snipers. They're a little bit different though. They're squads of 4. But they have like a high crit chance and they have long range and stuff. They have long vision too. But they're only on the airborne company, so you can't always build those. We do have 1 airborne company.
Yeah, we do. I'm not sure. Was it Tropical Ranger, was it? Or
I forget who it was.
I think it might be.
But anyway, point being captured back. And yeah, these priests, I think, will be the saving grace here.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be paying off. I mean, between them, they just have a ridiculous amount of kills. And the zone control is the main thing. They're just like, you can no longer walk here. And then they fire a massive barrage and kill like 50 squads. So.
Creeping Barrage is only 50 munitions, so it is able to be spammed. Good splitting up, though, by our Germans. They're no longer sort of blobbing together. And because against that sort of artillery, you really can't blob like that. Sturm Tiger being called in, though, an interesting choice. Not very good against vehicles. Does have the ability to wipe squads quite well, but it has a very long reload time.
Yeah, how long is it? It's like
minute.
It's pretty obnoxious.
It's literally a minute.
Yeah, it's a minute.
But
okay.
you have to manually reload after each shell, and you can't reload in combat because otherwise the crew just die because they have to reload externally. Another artillery barrage coming in here. Hopefully our priests start to fire soon. One of them's Vet 2 as well, so they're going to have extra accuracy. That's 240 mil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those are deadly. They're basically a railway shell, but they fire more of them.
Yeah, I think it's 3, isn't it? So
I think it's like 5.
5?
Railway's 3,
okay.
pretty sure.
Railway's 3. Okay, so it might be 5.
He may lose his own airborne though.
Yeah, gotta be careful there. There's that scatter. Going off to the side there. I think the Shermans are pushing in as well, just at the top.
Oh, indeed
yeah,
they
so
are.
Shermans are going to be moving in into the back lines. Want to see if they can get at a few of the headquarters of our Axis.
Yeah, I would love to see them just go for the base though, because the the VPs are so low that it doesn't get the neutralize on the VP. I mean, this one here is free for the taking. Americans not going for it just yet. Sherman going in very deep. Does get the wipe on the AT gun, but there's so many more ready and waiting. Pack 40 and a Panther doing some pretty good damage as well. He will be able to, oh no, gets sniped out by the pack. Meanwhile, on the top here, wow, what happened to these Shermans? That's a, the Yug Tiger.
Yug Tiger,
nice.
I think it was the Yug Tiger.
Yep. Didn't get any kills, but did some good damage. Yeah, that Yug Tiger, very, very powerful. So now, the Yug Tiger, it's very slow and very expensive, but it has just such good anti-tank damage.
It really does, and here comes the push there. Bit of smoke being popped here, but there's some artillery coming in as well.
Yeah, I think that must be the Panzerwerfer or some kind. Another creeping barrage going in. The pack very, very low. Will be taken out pretty soon, but got to be careful artillery down here. Creeping barrage. Not able to wipe the pack, unfortunately, just yet. The half track is reinforcing as well. Jackson going in very deep, but the Panther is quite low. A red smoke onto our VP. That will show that Jackson doesn't get hit by the Panther. That's just a strafing run, I believe.
He's actually going to walk away from this one, which is quite nice, and there's some supporting riflemen coming in. They haven't actually been killed yet. Do pick up that bar, and there's just so much artillery coming down. It's ridiculous.
Indeed, Vet 3 MG will get wiped by the looks of it here. Rider Eyes not able to get the killing blow, unfortunately, but the VPs have been held. If this middle VP is held by the Americans, they're not far off winning this game, especially with how easy they can sneak in this one on the left.
I'm surprised the middle VP is still alive after having all that artillery put down onto it, and there's some covering smoke, because why not add some more coming down there. So Veterancy 1, Veterancy 1, and Veterancy 2 onto those priests. It's really paying off for Tarius to try and like do a really supporting kind of build with the infantry company. So.
Yeah, indeed. Riflemen though getting very low. Yeah, the Panzer for 22 kills, doing some really great damage. They have actually got a buff as well. They got their rate of fire, the cooldown from 90 seconds to 70. So firing a little bit faster. Munitions points are being built here by Totarius as well, wanting to have more munitions to call in those artillery strikes. Pop cap as well for several of our players. Oh, no, definitely not fried rice, but Dartarius is fully pop cap, so he can afford to spend his money on those caches there. Riflemen shouldn't go in one at a time. G43s on the Grenadiers are pretty powerful at close range.
Yeah, definitely. Not really the engagement they want, especially with that bazooka. They will go down. Delays the cap for a little bit. Probably will survive, and I guess it does give the sight for those priests to start firing.
Yeah, they will indeed. And what will they actually find? Hopefully some units there. They're both firing at the same spots. Like, I would prefer to see them individually target different splitting, because it's kind of overkilling. It's like, you know, if it misses, it misses. If it hits, it'll hit. Like, you don't need to fire them twice in the same spot. Unless you're going for, like, a base, then, you know, you want the more to kill it eventually. But at this stage, look, could go either way.
Priests are, yeah, definitely could, but I think the priests are really going to be the big thing here. I don't know if the Jagd Tiger hasn't really been used that aggressively. The Sturm Tiger, massive
Sturm Tiger?
Yeah, Sturm Tiger, yeah, hasn't actually been used yet, I don't think. Has it actually moved in, got any kills or anything like that? The Welcome Stuga's doing well, so.
I don't even know where it is.
Yeah, I think it was up to the side or something. This map's freaking huge. I think it's to the left, like in like orange-ish area, so.
Oh, there we go. No,
yeah,
it hasn't been used yet.
Yeah, used Tiger.
Pushing now with a huge blob of riflemen. Jackson's for the long-range AT support. Panther gets very, very low, but more artillery barrages are going in, taking the Panther down incredibly weak. Bazookas may even finish it off. Another artillery strike being called in on top of the Germans. Just so much artillery. Panther is wiped by the Jackson indeed. The priests, are they firing? Not just yet.
Yeah, not at the moment there. It looks like the Airborne's going to recap the VP, and again, our allies have two of them.
Yeah, this Vet 2 Panther doing pretty good.
Oh, another artillery.
Oh, nice 240 mil. Very, very powerful. And the Sturm Tiger fires on the point. Only kills one, but it will neutralize the point and allow the Grenadiers to capture it back. Meanwhile, more and more barrages coming in from our priests this time.
Yeah, the priests are having an absolutely fun time. Do wipe that MG, and again, the riflemen are going to be moving in, wanting to prevent the Grens from actually capping anything.
No.
Goes way too deep. You don't want anything that close. The Sherman's going far too far.
We'll find the flank on the Jagdpanzer and this Sherman, but with two Shreks and a Panzerfaust on the Fallschirmjäger and the Raketenwerfer, that's just not a good engagement to be in. The Shermans will take quite some time, but will give the vision for an artillery barrage. Jackson's actually will have some pretty good damage, and rear armor is exposed on the Jagd Tiger rather. Jackson there's a Thunderbolt as well, and look at the damage from the Thunderbolt.
Abandoned there. Sturm Tiger's abandoned.
Must have been reloading. Yeah, you don't reload in combat because then the crew will get wiped, but it will be recaptured by the Fallschirmjäger. Indeed, so a nice Thunderbolt, but you can dodge it. But the engine is damaged. The Jacksons can finish it off if they get within range, but they won't be able to because of the infantry support there from all of those Shreks. Pack is firing on the Jackson. Got to be careful. It will drop very, very quickly.
Yeah, Jackson's got to be really, really careful when it comes to those packs and such. They can be quite fragile. And we've got a bit of a push going on from our allies down the bottom. They realise the bottom VP isn't really that control. He knows the pack's there. He knows those things. So Veterans need 3 pack now. Pack 40 coming out for
dangerous.
Kalinar.
But bear in mind, look at the health of the packs. And also, this is cool as well. One of the new changes they've added in is you can see, did that get wiped or did that retreat? I think it wiped. Yeah. Is there's actually now the health visible of the support weapon. See, if you look at the white little thing below the red health is for the crew, white health is for the weapon itself. So it means one Jackson shot that hits the pack 40 will actually destroy the main gun. But we do have another 240 mil barrage somewhere. An assault Grens. Very late assault Grens.
It's very late assault Grens. Nice. Maybe you're going to have a fun time. Let's see.
Nice bunker though as well, but these priests are having an excellent time. And the moment the rest of them hit Vet 2, they just get more accuracy and rate of fire, which just increases their damage so much more.
Yeah, this becomes absolutely ridiculous. So 50 VPs left on the field here for our Axis, and that's is that a double shot? I mean, from the infantry support gun, is that a veterancy ability or?
No, isn't there 2 of them?
Oh, there must be 2 of them. I don't know.
I thought I saw 2 of them.
Pack Howitzer, anyway, Pack Howitzer is going to be firing now. Middle VP is the most forward open thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Pretty well though.
I just hear so much artillery, but I don't know where
it's actually going, because there's like 4 separate engagements going on at once. So Walking Stuka has... is that a new one, is it? That must be a new Walking Stuka.
Yeah, indeed. The other Walking Stuka wasn't really firing that much. And this left side hasn't actually been taken. Darterius. Oh no, did Darterius lose his priests?
I think he did.
He lost the priests.
Oh wow, he lost 2 of them.
I think it was the, yeah, it must have been the, I forget what it's called, but I'll just check now. Yeah, it was the airborne assault. So it called in the strafing runs that actually killed the priests, and then the Fallschirmjäger dropped down and maybe fight off a Panzerfaust if need be. That's a huge blow, because Darterius is floating, so he can just call in more priests, but he lost the veterancy. You don't want to lose the veterancy, especially with how close they were to digging Vet 2, which will increase them quite a fair bit. But the middle VP has been held. If this VP stands, then this will be the game for our allies. It's not much more VPs, only 35 left. And just constant artillery. Where is it going?
I don't even know anymore. I don't know where to think. But yeah, 33 VPs. It's looking pretty over. See what else comes out here.
Oh, look at the Thompson vehicle crews shredding through the Vet 3 Grens, but we'll have to retreat
That's
now.
impressive.
I don't want to lose that one. That's a shame.
Yeah, I lost the veterancy on that crew.
Well,
a shame. They're apparently still alive and just... Maybe they're out of the conflict. Maybe they raised the white flags.
Not the engagement the Sherman needs to be in. They can't go for the circle strafe, not with the support. Jacksons need to be there doing the damage. And the point has been captured back, but more artillery is going in. Really, we should just see the VPs just being absolute blobbed over for our US. All of these forces should be on the middle VP.
Yeah, just sitting right on top of them.
The left side, though, will be captured by the looks of it here. So, looking pretty good, but if we do some good wipes, the Sturm Tiger as well is able to fire soon, and the young Tiger is going to just make it so hard to use those Shermans aggressively. But the Tiger moving into our left alongside the Panther will take out these Shermans, no problems at all.
Yeah, Sherman's a little bit late now. They're not really banging off as much as they were previously. Actually get the penetration there onto the Tiger and did some decent damage, but the Tiger and the Panther should just be able to help them down.
Yeah, indeed. And Sherman's needing to have the Jacksons or the bazookas for support. No bazookas there, only bars on the riflemen. But the middle VP has been held, but look how many units there are here. And with the Sturm Tiger moving in, that's just waiting to wipe a squad. Jackson has been rebuilt. That's actually Vet 1, so it will have extra AP ammo. Backman going a little bit too deep, though, and that's the M10 Wolverine. Tiger facing the rear armor if the M10 goes for the flank. So a little bit overextended here. The Wolverine has the excellent rear armor and will take it down quite soon. But meanwhile, Sturm Tiger, he's ready and waiting. He's in within range on the VP.
Yeah, he really wants that infantry blobbing up through because he's going to have an absolutely fun time. And now the Tiger has to back out through the Sherman and the M10. That's not going to be a fun time for him.
Yeah, the Wolverines, they
nice.
have good penetration, good rate of fire. They're very, very weak and they're fast, but in this situation, a very good way to deal with the Tiger, but didn't actually get that last shot, and the Tiger took it out. One more Sherman could take it out, but even the Jackson could just swoop into that one. Middle VP has been captured, but this left one's looking way more vulnerable. Once the Jackson gets the wipe on the Tiger, one shot away from getting the killing blow. We've got to be careful of the pack, especially with the Vet 3.
Yeah, Pack Jackson is very, very weak. It's actually going in really, really deep, but Vet 3 Pack, it takes out the Tiger. There's that range increase.
Have to back away from that one soon. Man, Vet 2 will give the Jackson increased rate of fire and accuracy. That's going to be a huge spike in power for that Jackson. Yeah, I would give up with this middle VP. There's just too much here for our Axis, but this left one will be secured quite soon. Right one still absolutely held, and that one's not going down anytime soon.
Yeah, really need some more units kind of move over from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. And the 3 priests, once again, brothers in arms, are going to be on the field here. Losing the veterancy, but keeping the name priest. Is actually a bit low from that. The priests are firing on it, I think.
Yeah, indeed. Darterius.
Oh, wow.
Doing some excellent
really
damage
low
against the Sturm Tiger. One more shell will take it out, and it will. They all missed.
They all missed. That's unfortunate.
That's a shame there, but really, the Sturm Tiger isn't that important of the target. It's all about the VPs. The Shreks may even kill the Jackson. The Jackson gets taken out in 3 of them. Could go for some pushing and force it off, preventing it from firing. But we'll retreat that one. This is a risky spot to be repairing them. Both of them together can get taken out by the priest. Once again, only infantry here on the left side. No tanks, nothing to deal with the Shermans.
And the tanks are quite low. A couple of those Panthers, as well as that Sturm Tiger, need to be repaired. There's not really enough repairing piles on the field to be able to deal with that. The young Tiger looking for a push on the right-hand side, but it's going to be careful.
Yeah, will not be effective against the riflemen. With the bazookas, They don't penetrate a lot again, but the Jagdtiger is basically a heavy tank destroyer. It won't have enough anti-infantry damage. I think it's actually the Jackson as well on the side. That was doing the damage. Yeah, the Jackson will have pretty similar range, but the Jagdtiger wasn't scouting, didn't have vision. And we do have the VP neutralized on the left, but artillery strike being pulled in gets the wipe.
Destroys that squad there. And the Bolshevik, they're looking for the cap now. VPs are even at the moment. 21 VPs, though, is all that's left for our Axis. They really need to hold these for as long as possible. We've got the Jacksons moving into the backlines now. Jackson's to deal with the packs, and that was the Sturmtiger, but I think it killed more his own units than anything else.
I don't know where he was going, but I think maybe he issued the attack command ages ago on the riflemen.
Sturmtiger dies, and looks like the Sherman will die, but that's probably going to be worth. The Jacksons are trying to force off those Fallschirmjäger.
Yeah, paratroopers have been called in with the Thompsons. They will be so powerful up close on the VPs. Panzerfaust gets this slow on the Wolverine. More Fallschirmjäger are being deployed, and they will trade well against the airborne without any upgrades. But not if they're getting suppressed by the MG in the garrison. That one is really paying off. Right side is being withered away by the Walking Stuka.
Yeah, Walking Stuka's going to do what it can, but there's just too much protection there, and with only 21 VPs, let's really have to focus on this left-hand side there. The airborne, they're starting to decap the VP. Pyros are going to be moving on to it. They need to be repairing. They'll just get shredded by the airborne.
Still no upgrades just yet. They can actually upgrade in enemy territory, which is cool. Not using that one now, but the Germans not looking too good right now. Unless they start holding onto this VP now, they're going to get taken out. Panther doing some pretty good damage actually against the paratroopers. We're a little bit too blobbed up, and that is another Thunderbolt run, taking the Panther down lower and lower. Jackson will be able to finish it off, especially alongside the bazookas and the Sherman.
Yeah, I think the airborne actually had to run away from that one. They do go on the retreat, but there's just so many rifleman squads that are grouped up here, but more artillery is still coming in.
And the point is being stalled by the infantry there. M10 has to move in to take out the Panther. Sherman as well, not looking too good in the 1v2. Walking Stuka gets the wipes on the infantry, and the VP was so close to being captured. Another Sherman moving in for the flank. Vet 5 infantry support gun needs to get taken out. That one is really crucial. Panther one shot away from its demise, and the Sherman won't find it just yet, but with the rear armor, it looks like it will. Vet 2 Katusha as well, 46 kills. May lose this one to the Sherman, but is the VP being captured? It's being held on by the Germans. Jackson dropping very, very low, and here come the rest of the armor for our Americans. Thunderbolt hitting the garrisons, but the Panzerwerfer was no, it survived.
No, it survived. Yeah, it's still alive there. We actually did see the Sherman getting taken out. There's absolutely nothing on the middle VP. No one's capping it, and there's no units like anywhere near it. Raketenwerfer to defend it, but that's pretty much it now. And finally, our Axis are getting forced off this one. Do manage to get the cap before that squad goes down.
That strafe got another Jackson. The strafe pretty good, but yeah, that Panther survived because the strafe, the Thunderbolt came on the left, and it hit the garrison.
Hit the garrison.
Tiger moving in now. Jacksons are great against the Tigers, but not when the Jacksons are one shot away from destroyed. That's even an M10. That's not a Jackson. That's one down here, but very vulnerable with the damage engine. Smoke grenades would be a good choice right now for fried rice.
Yeah, really need to be throwing that out so the Tiger's not doing any damage. Also, so the movement speed can actually land it on. Walking Stuka should be off cooldown pretty damn shortly, and I think there's like 3 tanks in construction for Masked Monkey because he's got that much fuel.
Yeah.
Everyone's floating so really hard.
Yeah, it's a matter of...
Oh, he stopped the VP cap!
Nice. It's a matter of pop cap. That's another... Oh, Jackson gets the killing blow. Fantastic work, but needs to get the VP now because here comes the line of reinforcements. If the... here we go. Look at that. Masked Monkey, Tropical Ranger, playing it smart, going for the VP that isn't defended, looking for where the weaknesses are, evacuating the crew to repair their own tanks. A good move here by Fried Rice.
Definitely what do you want to do there. So yeah, the North VP looks like it's going to be capped here. It has been decapped. Now the airborne are going to try and force off this Fallschirmjäger, and we've seen the rotation coming out. Our Axis is going for the middle. Fallschirmjäger goes down very fast. The airborne do so much shred, and that's without any upgrades.
It's also with the assault engineers as well. Up close, they're pretty powerful, but if they stall the point, if they just die, but hold the point for as long as they can, it would be a good move. But I don't know if it'll matter at this stage. 10 command points. VP, that's long enough. They will get the neutralized now. On the left one, though, Germans have got it back, but artillery doing some fantastic damage. Tanks are being repaired. And the battle, fantastic. 240 mil gets the wipes here. I mean, at this stage, it's going to be a battle of veterancy because there's a lot of resources available, but just not a lot of units, not a lot of veterancy.
Yeah, there's just a lot of load as well. Wow.
Fantastic. The 240 mil, you just can't predict it. It's just
so
inaccurate.
Where it's actually going to go. Which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. 7 VPs. it's not looking good for Axis. We'll have to see how they go. Yeah, so that was the third shot, wasn't it? Or fourth shot
I
or
think
something like that.
5.
So yeah, it must be 5. I think you're right.
I know
there.
Railway's 3, but the Railway only costs like, I think it's 200, but the 240 mil
240.
costs 250 in the armor company.
Okay, so
Cool.
middle VP is held.
And
For
they wipe
now.
that Vet 5 Volts Grenadier
Gotta be
would be
careful.
absolutely crucial to take it out, but it won't do so just yet. Stug and the Yugs, the King Tiger moving in, very vulnerable to the Circle Strafe. The M10s though, they can't deal with it at range. They have to flank the
If this cap goes down, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, that gets the point. Now 7 command points and a Thunderbolt, I believe, or some kind of artillery will take it out very, very low, alongside the M10s looking
6
for the Circle
VPs,
Strafe.
5.
But it may be taken
I think
back.
it's going to happen in time though. Yeah, no, that's just a regular artillery truck there.
5 mil.
Serious damage there onto the King Tiger. They may actually get taken out by the Jackson. 3 VPs. If this middle one gets...
Oh, it's neutralized. 2
it was
VPs are
neutralized,
left.
but the middle one's going to be neutralized, and that's going to be 1-0.
Yep, the Wolverines should kill it very soon. The King Tiger so powerful, but its turret rotation is absurd. It's so easy to circle strafe it, but actually...
I'd stopped. It got stopped there.
They don't get the middle
Nice.
VP, and the... Ooh, that was taken out by the Sherman, and I believe a Thunderbolt of some kind. Excellent work taking that one out. Very expensive. M10s couldn't quite get within there, at least not in time, but there's no supporting AT. They can just swoop in and kill them. Also, the Stuka and the Panzerwerfer, they're exposed. It will be easy killings for the M10.
Yeah, could definitely move in and do some serious damage there. See what has happened. 2 points currently held by Axis there. Holding on by the absolute skin of their teeth in every definition of the word. Sherman are looking to force some of those units off the VP. How much infantry do our allies have though? Not as much. I think it'll be it.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. I mean,
It's
really,
everything.
this
It's all
army...
over the place.
39 kills on the Pack Howitzer. I would love to see these forces from Dartarius go for that middle VP. He doesn't need to be there anymore. Loses the Vet 3 Rifleman. Sherman doing some nice snipings here onto the infantry of Kalinar, but look, I just don't think they're really prioritizing the VPs as much as they could be doing with infantry blobbing. Gets a lot of AT on the floor here. Bazooka captured. Another red smoke, so this could be the end of this blob. We'll actually go for the retreat, but the Jacksons may even get taken out by the Stripe.
Yeah, one of them has that damage armor there.
Wow.
Stripe is going to come in. Oh, it does survive though.
Yeah, that Strafe is actually quite powerful against those. That's the Thunderbolt now. Where are they going?
I'm not sure. I don't know where that actually ended up.
Indeed.
All the airborne's going to go for the decap. That'll be it.
Yeah, if he gets
Almost,
it though,
if
the
he gets
Stug may
cap.
wipe
Yeah,
it.
Stug may actually wipe it in time there. So even VPs for the moment. Stug, please, ball hard.
Whoa,
Hey,
look at
he's
the
like, he's trying to
Oh,
outrun
no,
the
the
turret.
Stuka.
Oh, the Stuka. Walking Stuka to take it out there.
Nice. But the M10 will get the killing blow. Another one as well, and the Sherman even.
Another
so,
airborne squad.
look, I don't want to call it, but I think this is going to be game here. There's not AT on the left. Even the middle is being captured
middle's
back.
being captured.
And a
That could be
smoke
it.
to prevent the movement.
GG.
Over Soldaten have been built, but a little bit late. And that is the GG. A triumphant battle for our allies, but a nice defense of our Germans.
Long game. That was an
Yeah,
hour.
that was a long game. Wow.
Impressive.
I
hope it highlighted some of the new units and stuff like that. So
just want to know how much we missed. Like,
yeah, I don't. Probably a lot. Like that walking Stuka,
Oh,
we only realized it was
20
there when
kills?
they got like 20 kills. Yeah.
there's just so much
Pretty
going
big
on.
deal.
It's really hard to keep up with everything.
4v4s.
So that was a pretty good game. Yeah, team games are actually really fun. I also like the dynamic when you mix in the factions because I think
Yeah.
they complement each other quite well. In fact, for example, Soviets don't have any infantry-based AT, but Americans obviously have a lot of bazookas. Americans don't have any heavy tanks. Soviets obviously have like IS-2s and T-34-85s and whatnot. Looking at Wehrmacht, a similar sort of thing. Like OKMS, they don't really have any medium anti-infantry tanks, whereas then Wehrmacht have Ostwinds and P4s and Brumbars, so there's really good synergy.
I think the Western Front Armies will just bring a better dynamic to team games. It was very kind of like
Elephant ISU.
yeah,
Elephant
very,
ISU.
yeah, pretty much, yeah, definitely in team games. It was kind of boring kind of dynamic, but I think with the Western Front Armies, like having the two extra factions is going to be fantastic. I think for team games is going to be a lot of fun. We played a couple last night actually, and they were a good time. So
Yeah, it's really good fun. Also because like the ISU and the Elephant and the Pack 43 nerfs, it means that those units aren't just romping the meta. And even there's more counters for them anyway. Like ISU, you've got Pumas. The Elephant, you've got M10s and Jacksons. Like, let alone the fact they got nerfed, there's also now more counters to those units. But well played to our players here. A valiant effort and a nice game. So shout out to those. And until next time, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe because we post a lot of Company of Heroes 2 content. We are the Generals Gentlemen. Thanks for watching.